Hi, welcome to the live sessions of the 6-week Animator Incubation. For this session, we had the pleasure of having Chris with us. He's also known as YNBM. He has worked on TV anime shows like One Punch Man, The Outcast, Fate Grand Order, and many others. And here's the interesting thing. He didn't go to an art school, and he learned everything he knows from YouTube and internet resources. The session lasts for 2 hours and 44 minutes. But for you to find the questions you're interested in the Q&A, you can quickly refer to those in the timestamp noted in the description below this video. And also you can find the transcript of the chat we had in this live session in the description too. Because in the video, you're going to see that we mentioned a lot of links and a lot of resources, and they were posted in the chat, so you will have a transcript of that chat too. Enjoy.
Perfect.
There. Zin! Hello,
Hi.
hello.
Hello.
Milkyas, good to have you here.
Nice to meet you.
Hello. That's Chris. Chris. Super. Milkyas, hello, hello.
Hey.
Welcome, welcome.
Long time no see you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
And then we have, I think
Oh
it's
my-
Zazil. Zazil.
Yes, it's
Zazil.
Zazil. I think yes.
More. Katia. Katia is coming too. All right. We're gonna have like 20 people joining.
20 people.
Around 20 to, it's because I was also doing some testing. So it appears
that-
like
I mean-
33, but
Mhm.
a lot of them were me just testing it. Maybe 20,
So
25.
I will try to answer all the questions of the people who are here then, because that will make more sense, right?
Oh, okay.
So they get their answers. I'm trying to answer most of them. That's like my plan. So
Hi,
I can
Susana.
have like
Susana, hello.
Nice to
can
meet
have
you.
like their fair share of answers.
Yeah.
Susana, I haven't met you. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Susana, Susana,
Hello, everybody.
yeah. Do you speak English, Susana, right?
Yeah,
Perfect.
it's not my native language, but I understand perfectly. So
You also
Amazing.
talk
No problem.
perfectly. You also talk perfectly. It's good.
thank you so much.
Awesome.
I'm in Spain, by the way.
I'm in Spain.
Ah,
Okay, so
Ah.
if at any point you struggle, then we can help you. We both speak Spanish, and then
Okay,
we
great.
translate you to.
yeah. And Chris is speaking German. So
I'm from Bolivia, but I'm living in Spain. So
Mm.
I have the influence from United States, and some words I will probably forget, but I will
Okay.
try. Okay.
All right.
yeah.
It's all fine. It's all fine. Don't worry.
Okay.
Very
Thank
cool.
you.
I don't know. Should I already start with answering some questions?
Yeah, let's get it started. Do you have the PowerPoint, or do you want?
I have the PowerPoint open up, so
Okay.
I'm probably gonna start with who's here already? Let me
Here.
see.
And Google user P, I think that's you, Zazil. Can you change your name to Zazil so we know you're here because your question is there.
Okay, cool. So I would like to start. Well, if we're already talking about Zazil, then we already start with her question, I guess. How to join the animation industry and how to know when you're ready to start applying for jobs. So basically, there is no exact point where you 100% know that you're ready, but if you like have a certain amount of time invested, let's say you started animation like 2 years ago and you worked very hard on it, you will probably come to a point where people will start to approach you if you like send out your work on social media or something like that. I don't know if you guys use Instagram, Twitter or something, but it's very helpful to get into touch with other animators, artists, with studios and all that kind of stuff. And most people also have their email into their bios, so you can instantly contact them. So that's very important. And so to join the animation industry, mostly for me, it was like that. I just needed to like get one step in. Can I ask for
Yes,
where the noise come from? Because,
Sorry, guys. I'm gonna mute you all. So
it's
Oh,
breaking
it's
my saw progress.
okay. There you go.
Okay, so basically, let's say you started working on your animation reel. People approach you on social media and stuff like that, and you get your first jobs. For me, it was like that a friend of mine who was already a little bit more advanced, I knew him through the social media, and we were like animator friends, and he said, hey, would you like to join on this project? So then I started working on the project. We had some more people in there that had already a little bit more experience. They would help me out, and they basically educate me and introduce me to the project, on the pipeline and stuff like that. So that's basically how I joined the industry. If you want to apply for jobs, it depends on what kind of jobs you want to do. If you want to work like in Eastern, Western, or if you want to work on European animation, right? So for European animation, I have just worked for things like advertisements and stuff like that. So these people, for example, they approached me via Instagram. For Eastern animation, which is basically Japanese or Chinese or Korean anime or animation, they approached me mostly through my emails or through Twitter. Yeah, what you will definitely need is like a good foundation. What you need is like, you need to know about the fundamentals of animation. It would be good if you had like a small short film or something, or like an animation reel where you basically showcase what you can do. So if nobody reacts to the thing, or you think the stuff is bad, or you get like negative feedback, don't let this stuff drag you down. And keep working, like keep trying to learn, keep trying to pick up all the information that you can get, try to take all the inspirations that you can get from all these kind of peoples, and you will find your way. Just believe in the things that you do it with fun, do it because you like to do it, and you'll get into the right direction. That's what I can tell. That was what worked for me, basically. Okay. All right. I'm sorry for talking so much and talking so fast. I hope all of you got basically something out of it. And then I would like to move to the next question, if that's fine.
If you don't mind, Zazil, did that answer your question, Zazil? All good?
Yeah. I still don't know how to approach the studios or.
Oh, the studios. Well, if you have like a certain studio, I don't know in which kind of area do you live. Where do you want to work?
In which place? I mean, which country or?
Yeah, which country do you live, or where would you like to work? Do you want to work for Disney, Powerhouse Studios, whatever? Which kind of studios do you know?
I don't know. I like French animation, but also like DreamWorks. I don't know. In general, I like animation, but I like more artistic animation.
2D or 3D animation?
2D.
Okay. So I do have a few friends that went to the University of Gobelins in France, and they kind of like, if you manage to get into that university, the people like the teachers already will probably direct you into the right direction. They have connections to studios, so you're not in that position right now, right? So what you're trying to do is check out some of the animation reels, because they basically showcase what they do like over the course of time on that university, right? So they do all these.
I have seen their. I'm sorry. I have seen their how do you call it? So
The show reels?
short films. Short
Yeah,
films. I have seen them.
Okay,
Does that work like a portfolio?
that's a
But
portfolio
I don't think
basically.
I can. I don't know if I can do one by myself.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you got to invest some time. You got to take your time. It's if you want to get somewhere, you need to invest time. You know, you need to really learn that stuff. You need to know where to pick up. So what we're trying to do is we are trying to analyze the stuff that you want to learn or the direction where you want to go, and then go step by step, like trying to, you know, approach in the same way. Try to. Do you have some communities online that you communicate with? Something like, are you on Discord or something, in animation groups or on Facebook?
No, I recently joined a Discord group of schoolism because I'm learning illustration drawing, and I'm learning animation now from here, but I don't know too much about other Discord groups like that. I have always liked animation, but I recently decided to take it more seriously.
Yeah, okay. So I really suggest that you try to look out for these kind of artists that you really look up to. I don't know, maybe, you know, Ross Draws or something. He probably has a Discord server. He's like very famous on YouTube, for example. He's more into the illustration direction. Then you have Ethan Becker. He's more into the animation direction. For example, he also has a big Discord server, and they're all trying to help out on these Discord servers. They communicate a lot. They show their work, their progress. And if you can like communicate with these people, get this feedback back and forth, you will also find a direction of where to go. And you will also find more people that basically tell you, hey, you could try that and that to approach the certain studios that you want to reach out to. It's a starting point. You need to start somewhere. You're still like, I don't want to like be rude or anything, but you're still very inexperienced and you want to start somewhere, right? So as I said, you need to reach out to people who are also like in the same position as you. Find a group of people that you like to be around, and then try to learn together. That is what helped me and how I got into the right direction. Does that help you? Is that a good answer?
And by the way, let me just drop a little note here for all of you. Chris achieved all of this without going to a formal school. So
I never went to any school. Like everything I learned is just online. So I can just talk from my experience. So I'm sorry if I can tell you like
that's so lovely, man. That's why I got so excited to meet you. Like, yes.
Okay, so Zazil, I'm sorry, but we need to go on to the next next questions, because we really want to answer as many as possible. Everyone deserves an answer, in my opinion. I don't mind if the Q&A goes a little bit longer, by the way. So I'm already saying that. It depends on how Mark and Constanza have time and you guys have time. Okay, so we go to the next question. Let's take the question from who is here? Let's see. Okay.
By the Zin Shine. I mean, Shine is one of the first ones. And
yeah, I got it right. Open up. 1 second. Let's answer his question then. Okay, so he already goes to the question: how did I learn by myself? How much time and years did it take to come to this level? And what average time I take to animate a shot? So for number one, how I learned it by myself is basically what I just answered. Like I reached out to communities, I tried to talk to people, and I tried to like just learn with other people. The communities that I joined were Hyun's Dojo. Basically, it was a stick figure animation community, and they were slowly getting into the Sakuga anime direction. And there were a few people who also tried to approach that. And through that, I got into touch with them, and we started making a group and called us Seti Absolute, and we started doing like 1 hour practices together every day, doing like collaborations, and yeah, basically sometimes do like friendly competitions, or we just we would just learn from each other, and we would also discuss about recent animes that would come out, or like very good animated shows, and analyze them, break them down, watch them frame by frame, and always keep each other updated. So we always know what's going on, what is good, what's cool, and what we would like to learn. Another thing that I really suggest is sakugaburo.com. I don't know if you heard of it.
No, I haven't had it.
Okay. I'm going to send you a link.
Constanza is pulling it up. So Constanza is going to put it there. Thank you.
Okay, Constanza is going to send the link to Sakugaburo. Sakugaburo is basically an online library about animation, basically. All the good animation goes in there. And you can find like certain animators that you look up to, like certain shows that you think that really inspired you over time. For me, for example, it was shows like Bob Psycho, for example, or Space Dandy, or like Cowboy Bebop, and all that cool stuff that's out there, right? And through that site, I found the names of the animators behind this and the talents. And yeah, that helped me pretty much to learn by myself. Okay.
Yes.
Good. I took around, well, first, before I got into all this anime stuff, I actually animated a lot of stick figures. I use Pivot Stick Figure Animator. It's basically animating stick figures with rigs.
Yes.
And I did that for like 10 years or something.
Whoa.
So yeah, so that's why I got like very good at the fundamentals. So I already know how arcs work, how easing works, spacing, timing, etc. And then when I approached like this anime stuff, it took me 4 years to get to the point where I am now, and I'm already 1 year freelancer full time. So that means it took me 3 years to get into like to industry standard level, and like studios reaching out to me. I've talked to the animator Bahi JD. He is like very famous.
Yes, I know.
Okay, that's good. That's good. He already told me also, like, if you're very good, you can actually make it in 3 years. He himself took also 4 or 5 years. So that's like
good.
what you really need to know is take your time every day to draw. Like, if you really want to get fast on that level, take your time to draw. Pull through the times where you feel very frustrated, where everything pulls you down, where you feel like you don't get a step forward. But in the end, 3 months later, you will realize you have already made a step forward without realizing it, you know, because you're like in this endless cycle of drawing and animating. And as I said, just pull through, keep doing it, and enjoy it. Take your time. Just pull through. You can do it. Everyone can do it. I believe that.
Thank you.
I really believe it.
Awesome answer. Love it.
And so what is the average time you take to animate a shot? So that depends on how many characters I have to animate, how long the shot is, and yeah, how many effects and stuff like that. So if I say, like, I just want to animate one character with one movement, and I animate on twos, that means I'm animating on a timing on twos. That means every 2 frames, I'm going to have one more new drawing. I think if it's just rough gestures, like really fast stick figures, basically, or like constructions, I can do like 3 or 4 seconds within like 2 or 3 hours. It depends on how complicated the motion is. And if I add another character, it could take the same time. It depends on how big the character is. If I draw it very small, if I have to draw it in perspective, because that also needs a lot. Drawing in perspective is kind of tough. Sometimes you need to redraw a lot, or like figure out how to position the character in the space and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, kind of like that. You can actually watch my live streams on YouTube and you will see me animating real time. So that's basically the best thing I can give you, because then you can also see how I approach my work. I also have a few where I like clean up a little bit, and yeah, maybe that helps.
And by the way, Constanza is putting your links, whatever links Chris mentioned.
There it is. There's my YouTube channel.
Constanza is pulling all the links, so don't worry. You can.
On my YouTube channel, I also have Q&A sessions. So if you skip to the right timestamp, you will also find new information and new answers and stuff like that. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Let's move on to the next one. So who's the next? I don't know, Mark, you're doing actually a good job giving me the people, and I think that's the fairest thing to do.
Okay. The next would be, I think, Rad. Rad, you're here?
Okay.
Yep,
yeah, I got
here.
the question.
It's slide number 3.
Yeah. What is the best way you find one begin to learn how to visualize perspective and camera movements? That's a little bit tricky one. So for visualizing perspective, I really suggest to look up 1 point, 2 point, 3 point perspective, all the standard stuff that you find online, basically. And for camera movements, you probably watched a lot of movies, right?
Yep.
So if you watch a lot of movies, you will see how some of the camera is used. For example, if you watch a James Bond action movie, you will see how the camera is like moving super fast from left to right. You can't even follow up the scenes because everything is blurry and super strong. Like, you can try to approach that kind of camera motion, but you really rather like want your camera always follow the actual action of the scene. You always want to give like your audience a clear view about what is going on, and that's why you need the camera. The camera itself can also like emphasize certain power, certain strength, or like, for example, I don't know if you watch anime, but if you watched the end of Evangelion, there's like a very cool scene that I would like to link. And it basically, the camera shows the whole weight of the whole scene basically. And it basically, hold on a second. I'm gonna pick it up and send the link to Constanza over Discord real quick so she can post it in the chat. So this scene is from Mitsuo Iso, and Mitsuo Iso like uses very intense camera motion for the stuff that he does. Yeah, that's over there. Like, the link is there. You can just click on it, open it up real quick, take your time to look at it. And you can see how like the camera basically describes the intensity of the scene and how much weight is behind these characters, because these characters.
I can share the screen and show
that's perfect. That's perfect. Do that if you.
Awesome.
Okay, yeah, so we can all see it.
So basically, the camera over here tries to convey the weight of these giant characters. And it also, you can see how like everything is shaking around a little bit, but the drawings are very clean, and the motion is not too fast. Like, the motion is like very well thought out, so it works pretty well. So the camera is always basically trying to follow up that certain scene. For example, if you have like the first shot, as I said, like it's trying to show the weight, then you have basically that one shot where the camera is static, but like Asuna is like that red-haired girl is sitting in the cockpit, and you can see like how the background is moving. So that just shows how like the character, you know, it basically gives a better feeling about the situation of the character in that scene. Okay. It's kind of hard to describe actually, because I can't fully understand what the person itself like tried to show with that camera or what he saw behind it, because I can't like read his mind.
It's not grade 12 English class where they say, tell us what they think, and then you have to figure it out. And then you say, oh, they thought this, and they say, no, it was this, but you never actually know.
So basically what you need to know, you need to think about what you want to show with your camera. You need to like figure out how big your shot is. Like your shot can be huge, but the camera can be very small and moves basically on a big plane. So imagine this is my camera, and this whole screen is basically the shot that you drew on. This is my canvas, right? So the camera is moving right here, and it's now trying to follow my face, basically. You understand what I mean?
Yep.
So you need to figure things out for yourself if you want to like approach that kind of stuff. And as I said, like try to check out some movies and the techniques they used. Whatever movie it is, if it's like a romantic comedy or like if it's an action movie, everywhere is like very specified camera movement to like emphasize certain scenes. Okay, I'm sorry, maybe I've like ran in circles right here, but I try to answer it as good as possible. Okay.
Well, basically, your explanation was like the action movie James Bond camera movement, so it's in line with the theme.
Okay.
By the way, let me just take a quick moment right here, because some of you are very interested in getting into the industry. So this is an invitation. Chris is such a cool guy. He's not into self-promotion or anything, but he's very humble. But so let me take this opportunity really quick. This link is provided below, his Patreon. In his Patreon, if you support, it's actually really cool. Like if I go, where can I see? Let me just go back really quick, just a couple of seconds, really quick. You can get to his Discord group. This is a great place. And actually one user, this is his Discord, Sanguini. He was so excited because he got a job in the industry. He worked on his first anime scene. So all of us were like, congratulations, man, blah, blah. So this is a good place to also network, and it's really cool people in there.
If you support me with $1 a month, you can communicate with me.
Yes.
He's such a cool guy. You can see right here.
Well, it depends. If you want to give me more, I take it. But yeah, I'm basically just having the Patreon as a side project for now. So I plan to do bigger things in the future. So when I have more free time, which will probably never happen, I will try to do my short films. And then I'll also try to like make more live streams, more stuff, like more educational content that could be helpful for you guys to like get into the right direction. Okay.
So next would be Jasmine. I believe Minomin is here. Not anymore. Minomin.
Can you ask if Minomin can listen to us, because she told me she cannot listen. So we were trying to figure out.
Can you listen to us? Okay,
Let me ask,
you can type it on the chat.
Yeah, I will write to her the question, because maybe she's not listening right now. Listening.
Okay. Not, I can go.
I mean, if this is recorded,
yes.
Otherwise, she could like later on.
Daryl also. Well, yeah, but it was related with camera movements. How to improve dynamic camera movements.
As I said, like you could like frame by frame position the camera each frame. Like there's like in Clip Studio Paint, for example, you can just add the camera layer and then move the camera by moving it with the move tool, or like you can also use the transformation tool, like to increase the size, turn it and rotate it and stuff like that. That way you can make it so much more dynamic. Like it's actually pretty simple. It just needs a little bit of experimenting to figure it out. It's basically the same questions as previously, but I try to go more detail into that one so I can save a little bit of time right now. I'm sorry.
And then another one by Milkyas.
the question.
Yes, it's slide 8. Slide number 8.
Yeah.
Let me.
How is it possible for me to overcome my financial problems to be able to buy animating tools? Oh yeah. Well, what I've done is when I like started out and I didn't have the tools to I never had a Cintiq right away, you know, like I had to work for it. So I did all kind of jobs, man. I worked at a bakery. I was an industrial mechanic. I was working, I was building windows, man. Like I was doing all kinds of jobs just to like save up some money and also to pay rent to my parents. And then I just bought the stuff that I needed. And in the beginning, you invest a lot more into these kind of tools, but once you like reach a certain point, everything else will come back to you. Like all the money is starting to chase you after a while, because all the work is going to chase you.
Wow.
It depends. So it depends. Like my situation could be not the same for you, but I tell you, if you're very humble and take your time and really research, practice a lot, you will get into the same situation. Be ready to commit a lot though. Like you will have to commit a lot of free time, and you will probably also find yourself, you know, losing some social context, like some people that would drag you down or like would rather like go drinking or something at night, and you would like to sit down at home quiet in your room just to draw, you know. That's basically how my life changed. I also went partying back then, like a lot and stuff like that, but after a while I saw like, this is boring, it's always the same. I want to do something with my life, man. I want to approach something that I can do for myself. And yeah, so then I was basically just saving up the money that I would spend for like cigarettes, alcohol, or whatever, and rather invest it into something that I could need. And that's where you need to differentiate. Like you need to figure out for yourself what you want to do. Like I'm pretty sure you'll get into the right direction if you want to, and you'll find a way if you really look for it. I hope that answers your question.
How do you feel, Milkyas? Because I feel so.
He's muted, I think.
Yeah, Mari, remember, we must unmute.
Yeah, this is actually amazing. In my community, there is not much knowledge or much need or want for animating. So when you raise the idea of I'm going to animate, people are like, that's the problem.
Don't worry, man. It's the same over here. Because like I live in Germany and here's no 2D school at all. Like there's nothing to traditional 2D animation. I had to like teach myself completely everything about this stuff, man. Like I basically have a few friends that kind of understand it, but they don't know what I'm actually doing. They just know, oh wow, you draw well, cool, and stuff, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm pretty sure you will have a few friends that accept what you do, so and these are the good friends that will stick with you, and keep them close, man. It's pretty important. Keep them close.
Okay.
Those are very important, dude. And you can do it, man, if you really want to. I believe that. I really believe that. Like I said before, man, you will find a way. And I'm pretty sure since you have used to the internet, you can also order some tablet or something online.
That's actually the problem. There's no access. Like, there's no access to like online services.
Oh my God, dude, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, I know, right?
I wish I could help you out, man. Maybe you can. Okay. Do you have some online friends that could like send you the tablet or buy it in another country and then send it to you?
I talked to some relatives, but the current situation, the corona thing, there's not much people coming to our country.
Where are you? Where are you, Milkyas, right now?
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia. True.
Okay.
Ethiopia.
How old are you right now?
I'm 21.
Okay. So do you think you still have some time though?
Yeah, I'm free, especially due to this coronavirus. I'm actually a second year in medical school.
Okay.
And I do it as a free time. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So that's pretty good. Then actually you're not that much in a bad position. You could still draw on paper.
Yeah.
It sounds rough, but I also
you're right, actually.
I also drew a lot on paper, man. I draw so much on paper still, because first of all, you need that feeling of holding a real pen, man. Because if you like draw with that shit all the time, you lose track of the feeling that you would actually have for paper. So it's good to have also another medium where you draw on, and you can't erase the mistakes too much. You can't erase the mistakes too fast. So it's super helpful to draw with an actual pencil, because you keep getting confronted with your mistakes, and that way you can also learn better from them. Sometimes I would also just draw without erasing or something, because I felt like that was like a much better thing to learn, and you would just try to draw more carefully, just like very consciously, you know. And so if Corona, what we all hope, ends like next year, I'm pretty sure you will also get like an opportunity to approach like a tablet or something, or like an animation tool that you can use. For now, I would just suggest take the paper, man, be very patient, and draw as much as you can. Try to still use the internet as good as possible, and pick up all the things that you can take from there.
Okay.
One more suggestion. One person I really look up to is called Kim Jung-gi. And Kim Jung-gi is like a Korean illustrator, and he draws everything with a pen right away without erasing anything. Like he's drawing massive images with crowds and stuff, super detailed, and it's absolutely insane and
extraordinary.
Yeah, he got like live streams and stuff like that, where he's also teaching anatomy, perspective, and stuff like that. For everyone here who's asking the perspective question, please watch his videos. Please watch his stuff, and maybe get one of his books. Like I got one of his books, and it's absolutely nuts to see it like on paper.
Awesome. The link is on the chat. We can go to the next one. It's gonna be Susana.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I hope this question and like this answer helps you.
Yeah, it has helped a lot.
Congratulations, Milkyas. I love the answer. I think you're done. Like, yeah.
Good. Okay, next person, please.
Susana is on slide 7.
On slide 7, I got it. What other methods would you recommend for getting better in animation, such as movements, more realistic textures, lighting, and backgrounds? For lighting, you should also always like lighting and textures are like pretty close to each other, since the lighting kind of describes the texture. You can just see things because of light, you know. That's a pretty natural thing. So for lighting, always make yourself aware about where the light comes from, how it would like approach the scene. Maybe draw yourself like a little arrow in the corner or something. Try to draw it in kind of in a 3-dimensional shape, so you have like a better idea of where the light goes to and how the shadow is like falling down from the objects. That's what I suggest for lighting and textures. For movements and backgrounds should be always drawn pretty early on. It depends like if your character should interact with the background. But the background itself is very important because you want to move your character within that space, within the background, right? So that's why I suggest like for backgrounds and stuff, maybe check some illustrators that like are more into like landscaping or like concept art and stuff like that. They have very good ideas or very good techniques that show you how to draw much better backgrounds or like these textures that we are looking for. It's more illustration though. It's all more illustration. And for movements, it would be good to like watch realistic real life footage. For example, I like to watch tricking videos, or like things like acrobatics, breakdance, parkour, and stuff like that. That's all the stuff that I like to watch a lot. So I'm following that stuff on social media, on YouTube, and I'm always like watching these videos. Sometimes I'm pausing the video and I'm using the hotkeys point and comma to go frame by frame through the video on YouTube. That's also very helpful. That way you can break down the key poses for yourself and get a better idea about the motion. Another good internet site is called Bodies in Motion. It's basically a site where you can like see a motion, and you can like all the motion is broken down into frames. So you can look at each frame, which is very helpful and educational. So maybe use these as references.
What's the site? The site?
Bodies in Motion, it's called. Maybe I can find the link. I think I got like a.
Bodies in Motion. That photo.
I'm not sure right now.
I found it. I'm gonna post it. Yes, I'm gonna post
it.
Oh,
it's
wow.
a very good site for
Yes,
like all
one.
these references. Also, would you be so
cool.
So is it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a post. Yes.
Okay, cool. So does that kind of answer your question?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay, super.
With all our exercises in the course, I was trying to figure out how to my character. In the first place was the biggest problem I had was have a character, create some character. So I lost a lot of time doing that. And finally, one of the questions I made, but was the first one, not this one, was if it's necessary to have a 3D model to copy the draw.
Oh, so I'm sorry if I interrupt you, but I'm gonna answer your question. So basically, it doesn't matter in which production you are or for which studio you work, you will always get a reference. So you always have a model basically, or like a character sheet where you can see the characters from left, right, top, front view, whatever. So you can see it from all kind of views, and you have a better idea to draw it. So basically, you draw the character multiple times with reference if you animate. And so basically, yeah, I also work with reference when you work for a studio.
Yeah. So I was having strugglings with this, with create a character. So I use this one.
Okay.
I don't know if you see this.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Very cute.
Cool.
It's cute. It's kind of little and have a few details. So it was easy to me to rotate it and copy the draw. Was more easy. And then the stretch. Oops, I have struggles with that because this is ¿cómo se dice? Caracol. I don't know how to say that in English.
Caracol? No, how do you name the what is the name of that animal? Me neither. I don't know how to say that in English.
Snail or
nail.
Snail.
Nail. Snail. Nail.
Snail. That's it. There are no arms, there are no legs. And the movement it's like this.
Yeah, it's like squash and, it's basically squash and stretch. It's squeezing.
Oh yes, exactly. For that exercise, it was great. But for other things, I have, because since the first week, I said, well, I want one character and apply all the exercises to this character. But of course, if I have to make movements like this one, I don't have hands, but I have these cuernos. I don't know how to say it.
The antenna.
Yeah, that's right. So that was my first question. And the second one, yes, I'll find a video of this animal making the movement. So I start using second by second to figure out how to draw it. It's very complicated.
At first it's very complicated because it's completely new. It's a completely new approach. It's completely out of your comfort zone. You never did something like that. So of course, it's pretty hard. Everything will be very hard at the beginning. That's like just how it is. But you did the right approach. You did everything correctly. You did nothing wrong. Okay, because you can't really go wrong if you really try it. Just do it.
You know what is my problem? I'm a graphic designer, and I also I draw and I paint realistic paintings. I have photographs, and I can draw and paint digitally. But doing this, it's something completely different because
I know
it's a challenge for me. I have to think completely different. It's like being in first year of studies, you know?
Yeah.
So
animation is not like art. Like it's kind of art, but it's different. It's different. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a challenge.
I'm pretty sure you will figure it out. I mean, you seem to be long in the game, so you will find a way to like approach it and like get more idea. I don't want
to. Also, it's embarrassing because I haven't uploaded my jobs, my exercises. I have it, but I haven't uploaded because it was kind of embarrassing. I don't know how to say.
You don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have to be embarrassed.
For that, let me recommend you the Patreon or to join his Discord because the people there are very supportive. You can put anything that you see, you put it there, and people encourage you. They go, yeah, you're trying, keep doing it. Very kind people.
Well, sorry. Once I heard your video about the people who left messages, and because of this meeting, I felt that I have to upload my jobs. That's it. So I will do it.
If you really want to like get feedback and stuff, you need to put your stuff out there. That's like essential. Even if you don't like it, even if you think it's bad, but if you think it's bad, you will see the mistakes and you will realize it for the next time. So for me, it is everything is all about repetition, especially in animation. If you want to get down emotion, you will never get it down on the first try. That's impossible. Like I've been doing certain motions like a front flip or a back flip. I've been animating it probably like hundreds of times and I still find ways to make it better. And this like, you just constantly have to tackle it. It's like an art, you know, if you can't draw a face on the first try when you're 3 years old, you don't even know what you're drawing. But when you're like getting older and then you already start to analyze like the realistic face with all the wrinkles, all the shading, how the light falls onto the face and how to like keep the volume. And you have so many more things that you think about basically. You will, all of that will start to influence your work and get you into the right direction. So starting on 0 is normal. And I think that's the biggest issue for most of the people because everyone wants to jump on 100 right away. But that is not how it works.
Make a movie.
I wish I could sneeze and the movie is there, you know, but then I would be rich. But it's not. It's like not how it works. I'm sorry, but just do your thing, keep on it. And I'm sorry that I have to like cut it here, but I would like to go to the next question because everyone deserves an answer.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you very much for letting me participate.
Yeah, no problem. You're welcome. Thank you for your question.
What's up, guys?
Hey there, who's there?
Shannon.
Hey.
Okay, Shannon is the next one.
No, Shannon.
Made it just in time.
Oh, you just joined.
Yeah, you just.
Yeah. Made it just in time.
Okay, cool. Hey, Shannon.
The next one is going to be Helene on slide 11.
11. Is it slide 11? Okay, for me it's 12.
Oh, 12. Sorry, I did something wrong in here.
I think by me it's a little bit different. How do you come up with story ideas for short videos? Okay, that's a pretty tricky one. So these ideas can basically come up anytime, everywhere, at any moment. So basically, sometimes you just sit in the train and you see that random tree in the far back, and you're like, "Wow, man, my ninja is now jumping from that tree to another tree." And then you kind of start to develop a story around that ninja that jumps from tree to tree. You try to like first of all, you need to think about one character is all you need. One character is all you need. Then you start to develop the surrounding of the character. You try to think about his purpose, about his influences, about why he's doing things. And then you start to craft the universe around him. So for example, I have this one character that I figured out for myself, and he's like a freaky guy with a cyclops mask who's like traveling in the universe from planet to planet. And you know, for me, it all came randomly at some random time where I didn't expect it. So you can't really force ideas, but you can develop them as soon as you find them. And ideas can be basically everywhere. Like you just gotta pick something up and you think, hey, that might be something. And then you need to just put in enough thought and, you know, keep figuring out how to make it more and more interesting.
So would you recommend like having a note or taking notes as
definitely taking notes, maybe draw some images or something, make a storyboard. Storyboards are like very essential, especially for every production as well, because every idea needs to be visualized, and what better way is it than to use a storyboard, right? And when you have the storyboard, you start to draw the motion, you bring the characters to life through the animation. In the next phase, you go to the cleanup where the character becomes all the details and all the stuff it needs to be the character. Then it comes to the I don't know, there will be director checks in between. So the director fixes your drawings, and then there will be another cleanup later on. So everything is even more clean. And then there will be colors. So the colors also give like a feeling about the characters and also can reflect the mood and the story a little bit better, you know, etc. Like it all builds up from that one idea, from that one image that you create for yourself. And as I said, like draw this one storyboard panel and you can visualize it step by step.
Did I answer your question? Yeah.
Hopefully.
Really, I think it was a awesome question, Helene. Anyway, we're gonna move to Utkarsha. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your
Utkarsha.
name. Utkarsha. Utkarsha. I remember.
You cannot unmute, so yeah.
Utkarsha. Thank you. On slide, let me see.
Is it possible to get hired only on the basis of our skills? So skill is a very vague thing, actually, because there are people who might be, in your opinion, less skilled than you, but already have way more job experience than you. So that's the thing is, there's like we're not in a video game. We don't have any stats or like any numbers or something that kind of tell us how good we are or how valuable we are as human, right? So of course you need to have certain aspects that you can provide to the client that makes you stand out, and the client would say, hey, I like that, and I would pay for that. And yeah, these need to be developed. Let's say we call these kind of things the skills that you're referring to. Then yeah, there might be some kind of skill that you need to have, but like the skill itself will develop over time. The more time you spend into it, spend on it, the more thought you put into it. And then there will be also a higher chance for you to getting hired. You know, like you just raise the chance by like investing in yourself. That's like all I did was just doing stuff for myself. I was just doing a bunch of million practice animations with kind of a direction of where to go. And yeah, now I'm here, right?
Yeah. Inspiring all of us.
Yeah.
Does it answer the question?
I was very curious because even you are a self-taught artist, so and you are at a very high position right now. So
well, I'm not really, but thank you.
Like I'm from India, so here people hire you on the basis of your degrees, not on the basis of your portfolios. Like there are two degrees. Basically, it's about the bachelor's degree and then the master's degree, and after that you get hired. So is it the same in different countries, like in Disney or in Pixar?
I can't really say exactly for Disney or Pixar because I've never like worked with these kind of studios. I just heard stories, and I think they will pretty much look for very, let's say, skilled people, like very very highly educated people that probably also have some actual experience or like look very promising in the way they do their work. These people that get hired probably have a very strong animation reel or like a short film already created, and or maybe come from a very very famous animation school. But for Japanese anime or Chinese anime, that might not be the case. You don't need a degree or something to get hired. Like they just think, oh my God, he seems to understand Japanese pipeline. Let's hire this guy, man. We're in need for animators. That's basically how it works there. But like it really depends on where you want to go, like or what kind of work you want to do. But there's a lot of options without like having an actual degree. That's what I can tell.
Yes.
So even if you're from India, you might have good chances if you're like just find the right direction of where to go. I even got actual work requests from India. So there's like there's possibilities for everyone. Okay, so just try to invest in yourself and don't let other people opinions change your opinion too much, like or your mind too much. Okay.
Even I never went to any professional school or anything. I'm a self-taught artist myself.
Yeah, that's totally fine. So am I. And as I said, I'm still getting work. And also a pretty good one. Like I'm able to sustain myself. I'm able to live with my two brothers in the same house, but it works. Yeah.
Awesome. We can go now with Aditya.
Wait a second. Is the question answered?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It's very properly answered.
Okay, perfect. That's all I would like to know.
Chris.
Okay,
thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking your question. And thank you for telling me about your little story.
Yes.
Thank you.
And actually, thank you also for making sure that the questions are really answered.
Yeah, we want to please everyone here. Okay, next one.
Next one, Aditya.
Shannon, your question wasn't answered yet.
Oh, yeah. It's Aditya, and then we're gonna go with Shannon. Aditya is number 24 on the slides. Maybe it's gonna be
25 probably for
25.
me.
Okay.
Okay, so we have one more with you.
Can I also be hired in the anime industry? Yes, is the answer, but you will need to know how the pipeline works. You will be in need to you need to be able you need to understand LO, which is layout, and Genga probably. So I've helped a lot of people already like getting into the industry and helped them out like by just giving them advising on how to export properly, how to communicate, what to look out for, how to fill the timesheet. So basically, everyone could get into anime industry, but you need to have a certain standard like that shows that you're capable of doing it. And until you get to that point, it might take some time. So there's like a very good YouTube channel that gives you a very good idea about how the anime industry works and how the pipeline is put together, what directors exist, how things get corrected. They even have live streams. The YouTube channel is called Striving for Animation. You also showed
for animation.
Very good YouTube channel, super educational. I've learned a lot from these people. I've talked to a lot to these people, very kind people. And you will find all the information you will need to get into anime industry, basically. Because all the theoretical stuff is basically saved up there. They even have like forums, they have Discord servers and stuff like that. Perfect. So definitely everyone can make it, but it takes some time to get there.
Perfect.
I have another question about it.
Okay.
Means when I started my animation a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, I was like art blockage. Means right? That feeling that I don't want to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Thank you for bringing that up. That's beautiful.
The art block procrastination problem that exists for everyone, to be honest. So what's the question?
So that means does it happen to everybody or?
It happens to everyone. There's no exception. It happens to everyone. You can be like super professional. The thing is just after a while, like art block itself just happens inside your head. So it actually doesn't really exist as long you don't. I'm sorry, the fucking fly. As long it doesn't really exist as long you don't want it to make it exist. Like if you create a routine for yourself, if you have like a schedule for yourself, if you discipline yourself, you can just pull through that art block. Like for example, you tell yourself, okay, today every day I want to draw like for 1 hour. If you do that every day, your mind and your body will automatically get into the routine of drawing every day, and the art block itself, you won't even think about it anymore. It's gonna become a myth to you. It's all about you and how much you want to do it. Like there's like nothing else to it. Like you can feel down, you can have times where you want to take a break, but don't I'm sorry, I switched to German. Don't like.
You can speak in German.
Katya
don't.
Here is from Germany. You can say it in German, and Katya can help translate.
Oh no, don't worry. It's fine. You can just, don't let yourself get dragged down by that feeling. Okay, just try to stay over it. Try to, you have a goal, right? Yeah, and you can't reach that goal if you tell yourself you have an art block, right? So what's the point of having an art block? Throw that thing out of the window, man. Throw that thing out of the window. It doesn't belong in your room. It doesn't belong in your head. All that belongs to you is just that you do it for yourself, man. Like
means I want to tell that when I started the animation, at that time I showed my animation to my friend, a close friend, and means he was like telling me this is not that, it is not not good and that stuff, and I was kind of down at that moment, and that's why
I see. Is your friend good at animation?
No.
Then why are you listening to him? So
why did I listen to him is because first I don't know to whom should I speak or to whom should I tell my
let's approach this differently, please. Let's approach this differently. So good thing that you reached out to your friend and asked him for feedback. He probably had very honest feedback, and it might have hurt you because you were pretty proud of your work and you put a lot of time into it. Of course, it would like make you feel down if he tells you, hey man, but that looks kind of off, or I don't know about this one. Take it as humble critic, and just pick out the stuff you think is useful for yourself. Try to put the negative feelings aside. You need to control yourself a little bit about that. That's part of growing up, because later on, it doesn't matter what you do in life. Like, it doesn't matter what job you will do. There will always be that one person that points on you and say, hey man, it would be better if you would do it differently, or like just do it like that. And he doesn't even say that to harm you, just to help you. He wants to help you to grow and to improve. Even if he tells you it's shit, like if you like is being very rude about it, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's just bad for you. You can tell them, okay, then I'm going to try to prove it better. Like I'm going to do it better the next time. I'm going to prove you that I can actually do this. And after a while, you will change his mind, because you didn't like take this negative feeling inside you in a negative way. You made a positive feeling out of it. Is this helpful?
Yeah, I understand, but when I just have started the animation, and at that time he told me, so I was demotivated at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, then check up some references, some animators or some animation or anime that you look up to, and pick up the motivation again.
And really quickly, Aditya, you can also, we invite you again to join the community with Jen. It's really cool. Like, support the patron, and then in there's really cool guys that if you feel down, a lot of people are very encouraging there. It's really beautiful.
Well, you don't have to. There's also free animation stuff. Like, if you scroll up a little bit, you will also find Howard server, for example. There's also a good animation server where you can get feedback and stuff like that. So if you don't, just scroll up. The Discord server from Howard, it was posted from Constanza already. So you can check that one out. There's also a good server where you can like talk to other people who animate and stuff like that.
The Discord one?
Yeah. Okay. Better get feedback from these people next time instead of your friend, probably. That's what I suggest. Because if your friend is rude, it doesn't help you.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, you're welcome.
The next is Shannon.
Okay, let's go to Shannon.
Let me see what.
Hello.
We're gonna pull through all questions. It doesn't matter how long this takes. Okay.
Wow. Oh, by the way, let me quick pause. Yeah, guys, it has been an hour. We're gonna continue, but out of respect, if at any time you need to drop off, you can drop off. Everything is being recorded and it's gonna be posted in the XP Pen channel. So
I'm gonna do my best to answer all the questions as good as possible, because everyone, as I said, deserves an answer. That's what I think. And yeah, I'm here to help you guys out, so I'm really trying to do that. And it would be rude to ignore anyone. Okay. Shannon, do you still have your answer questions?
It's on number 18.
Number 18?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably 19.
Yeah. Oh, how do you get better at animating human character movement? So basically what I did all my life is I was watching a lot of tricking videos or like parkour and stuff. I always thought, oh my God, that's so cool.
Oh, yes.
And I wanted to put that into my stick figure animations, right? So I like animated these parkour movements in my stick figure stuff. And then later on, when I like got into animation, into anime animation, I was like, I still like this stuff. And then I kept watching it. And I also follow a lot of trickers and parkour on Instagram. And yeah, and they also like post a lot of slow-mo videos. So you can see the motion very clearly, how they spin, how they rotate their body to like take the momentum and like get into the next move and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can share the screen really quick so I can show your animations from 2000.
Yeah, that's really old, dude.
Amazing.
Yeah, but
everybody starts somewhere, guys.
Yeah.
And I animated all kind of random movements, dude. This animated whatever came to my mind. But dude, always like,
so cool. I was watching this stuff in high school.
Yeah, dude, this is like very old stuff, and it was very fun anime too.
Like we can all see the parkour elements like.
Yeah, the parkour fighting stuff.
Do you make parkour too?
No, I don't do any parkour. I can't do parkour. I can't even do backflips. I can't do anything of that stuff. But I just like to watch it.
But I'm gonna post the link so you can also. Check it
Yeah,
out. But it's on his channel.
It's all on my YouTube channel. Also, like if you like watch action movies like Jackie Chan or Jet Li or something, those are very good inspirations too. Like the choreographies are like super creative, super intense, and very thought out, and you can still follow them quite well, in my opinion. I prefer these over the James Bond movies, because like you really can follow up what's actually going on.
So is it like just repetition of just and what do you think of like rotoscoping actual movements as well? Like
I've actually tried rotoscoping a few motions, but I think they are not as educational if you don't have like a foundation. So if you already like animated certain motion on repetition before and like get more into understanding body mechanics and how like these movements work, you will have a much better like appreciation for rotoscoping. So because you start to break down every motion frame by frame, and if you do it on 24 FPS and also draw out all these 24 frames within that 1 second, basically, you will definitely get a better idea about it. Though I don't recommend rotoscoping if you rotoscope over the work of someone else. Like, don't do that, please, because that's very disrespectful. You can't claim that your own. If you do that, do it as practice and don't post it. Don't post it anywhere. Like it's because you don't want to disrespect the actual artist. You don't want to steal his art, and you just want to learn something, right? I mean,
it's just in terms of movies and anime and like anything basically.
You can rotoscope anything. Like you can, if you have emotion that you think that's super cool, you can try to rotoscope it and then try to reanimate it by yourself. But as I said, like use it as practice, just to learn, not as like don't claim it as your own. Okay, and if you like post it online, give the credits to the original artist, where you got it from. Put the video footage or something, and like that's how you would do it. Because these people they basically gave you the chance to learn from them, and you should respect it. I think there's too much people who like abuse it, use it for themselves, and make money out of it. I don't think that's good.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, try to not use rotoscoping too much, because overusing it won't teach you much about motion after all. You need to figure out most of the stuff on your own, and that works the best way if you observe very, very carefully, analyze, break it down, and then slowly animate it from your mind onto the paper. And if you see, okay, this doesn't look good, or it didn't turn out quite right, you go back to the reference, and then you like hold them next to each other to see, okay, in the reference there's this and this difference to my animation, and then you can like either try to fix it or you can try to redo it. Ooh. What I also like to do is I like to do like certain kind of things like run cycles. For example, I do a run cycle, and after 6 months, I'm gonna do another run cycle, and then I'm gonna hold these two run cycles next to each other, and you will see the clear improvement of how good you've become. Oh. It's super good, dude. Like it's super good. Like it's super good thing to do. Just have some basic motion or something that like helps you to figure out like human body mechanics, and then just redo it after a while and try it again. Yeah, that's where that's where the repetition comes in.
Okay.
I hope that's enough in terms of answering your question.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome. Okay.
And the next one is Daryl. Daryl, You can unmute yourself. Yeah, on slide, the one before that, 17 or 18 with you.
In between the cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it him?
That's my main problem about in betweens and smears.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know how to smear.
So I just assume you already have a little bit more knowledge about this stuff and have been animating for quite a while.
I've been animating on paper, like flipping it over and over.
Okay, cool. So in betweening and the cameras can be pretty tough because I think the biggest problem is like if your keys aren't consistent, you will end up having a lot of resizing, right? Like the character is going to be bigger, smaller, or something, or maybe the in between is going to be shaky and it's going to be like doing some random kind of motion. Yeah, it's what's the best way to learn it? I'm actually always animating straight ahead, to be honest, or like most of the time. I just recently got into keyframing because of anime itself. I never used it before, to be honest. And the answer is just as that, like the only thing in between you need to take care of is like, having a good spacing, an understanding of easing. Hold on a second, I'm gonna close the door. A good spacing is understanding of easing and arcs. Arcs, like for example, if you do any motion, it doesn't matter what you do. If you like just lift your hand, you will see that my hand goes from position 1 to position 2, right? And it will kind of move in a curve. If I would like draw a point right here on my wrist, you will see that the wrist itself would always move in an arc, like in a curve. And like if you like think about these concepts or like these fundamentals, you will have a better time in between in your stuff, and you will also have like a better motion, like it will look more smooth, more fluid. Does it help?
Yeah, kind. And about, how do you say this? Fast movements, for example, like punching. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos like they blurred the in-betweens, so to insinuate fast.
So they basically draw smears.
Yes, kind of.
Okay, hold on, I'm gonna start to share my screen and I'm just gonna draw it out for you.
Beautiful, yay!
Let's get into the actual animation part. I mean, those are the easy and fun things that we can like show very easily. Hold on a second, how do I change my screen, man?
Mark, did you give the power to multiple participants can share?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are going to see a green bottom.
Yeah, I see that. I got it, I think.
Cool. Yeah, you did it.
Yes. Okay,
you did
cool.
it.
Okay, I did it. Okay, cool. So let's say I guess you
all got excited.
You have your character, right? And I'm just gonna like trying to draw him in a pose where he's like going in, I don't know, he's like in a punching pose, I'm gonna draw it very quick so it's super rough. I'm sorry if it looks super rough. Right?
Even that is a good drawing. Every time people say that, sorry, this is a rough sketch.
Okay, cool. Wait a second. I'm gonna change the organization of my frame. Okay, let's do it like this. I'm gonna use my onion skin, and frame number 2 is like, I don't know, man. He's like, he's going in for the punch, so he has to prepare it.
Yeah, in the course
anticipation.
Yeah, exactly. The anticipation.
So we want to have anticipation, right? So I'm gonna try to draw with keys, and so I apologize if it looks bad. Okay. Wait a second. Now I'm gonna draw it differently. I'm gonna exaggerate the pose much more. So it's like really
nice.
Holding his arm back like that. Drawing it like this. Kind of like this. Okay. And in the final pose, he's like rotating his body, and he's having his punch, right? So all the people do with the smears basically is just, for example, you can have like
an arc.
An arc basically. Like the smear itself will also just follow the arc basically, right? Kind of like this. Okay. Okay, and now I'm gonna just in between it, okay? So basically I got the 3 key poses. 1 second. 3 key poses. He's like leaning backwards, going for like preparing the punch, and then in the last frame he's doing the punch. Right? Probably there will be one more like scene, one more frame where it's like a follow through. So he's like, I don't know, maybe he's like doing some kind of rotation over it because he got so much swing. He's rotating once.
Whoa.
Would be kind of like this. So could you still elaborate your problem? So your problem is smears right now, right?
Yes, it's smears.
Okay, smears. So basically, for me, the smear would probably happen between this pose and this pose, because that's where the smears always used when something is moving kind of fast. So if, for example, if you do a punch, you will see that you will like that your camera, for example, can't really have like HD frames of your punch because your punch is too fast or something. It will be blurry, That's basically the part where you would also use smears. Like there's also where you can overuse smears, and basically everything in the motion can be smeary, but yeah, that's kind of a lazy way to do it. So we're just gonna use smears efficiently for the punch where it's actually needed, right? So like he's now leaning in more backwards. I'm just in betweening now, basically. So I'm now like trying to get from one pose to the next one. Another thing that you could look up if you want to like learn more about in-betweening is shift and trace. I don't know, have you heard about that?
No, I haven't. That's the first time I've heard about it.
Okay, cool. Please look it up. Please look it up. It's basically in animation, there's like certain softwares like TV Paint or something where you can like reuse a certain frame and then trace over that one, or like use that one to stay more on model. So basically, if I want to make sure that this frame is as big as my first frame, I would have like one frame, have like frame number 1 right next to it, And that's why shift and trace is very helpful. It helps you to stay more on model and
have the consistency,
more consistent with the drawings. Exactly. So that's like a thing that's very much used in animation. So now he's like starting to swing back his arm. Okay, it's getting a little bit confusing right here because now the onion skins are overlapping. So basically I'm just trying to in between, like right in the middle, as you can see. Okay, and what I also notice is that from frame 1 to 2, the direction is like this. And frame 2 to 3, the direction is like this. And this will like show that the arc will be off in the end. So it will not look as smooth. So what I'm basically just gonna do is I'm gonna like select my head, reposition it a little bit. And now it's like going in a smooth arc. So it's more like going downwards. We always want to like move in that arc basically.
So let me just what you're doing here is even the head has to have like an arc.
Everything has to have an arc. Wow. Dude, everything is moving in arc. Like it doesn't matter if it's hips, if it's arms or bodies, dude, like it's because of gravity, man. Like imagine you throw a ball. The ball would never like fly straight. It will always fly into a curve because it's at one point it's just going to get pulled down from gravity to the ground. And that's like one of the most basic principles that a lot of people neglect or like don't even understand completely, and they don't invest enough time into understanding it. And that's why it's like very important to like get an idea of it. So now I'm gonna like smear out this frame. It can be like it's like as rough as possible. He's like having a really fast arm motion. So now moving his hips forward. All right. The drawings itself probably don't make too much sense probably, but it doesn't matter. It will work out. It's just so animation works. Like you can have resizing and stuff, but as long as the motion or like the arc is fluid, you can have a lot of resizing in it, and a lot of people won't even realize or notice it. Just pause at some random frames in some animation. Doesn't matter if it's like Disney or like, for example, anime or something. Probably more. Well, even in Ghibli, man, there will be some weirdest frames where you're like, wow, dude, how did this even get through? And how did I even not notice that?
Whoa.
It's just like that.
I've been looking at for a lot of Yukata Nakamura's Sakugas.
Oh, okay. Then you will also notice that over there, man. Like he also does that. But yeah. Yutaka is like pretty much God.
Butter on toast, man. Holy crap.
It's pretty hard to learn from him, to be honest. Like I'm trying to learn from him for years now. I also bought his books, man. I got all kind of stuff.
He has books.
He has books, man.
I'm gonna search
it. You know?
I'm gonna search it up. I didn't know.
His books are called Incompleteness. You can go to mandarake.co.jp, and then you look for Yutaka Nakamura Incompleteness. Do you know how he's called on Twitter? Do you know that he has Twitter? This is his Twitter account, man. Do you see that?
Holy smokes, in Japanese.
Yeah, he's Japanese, and you can even like get his book right here, man. Like he even like puts down the links.
Can you put that link?
This link?
Yeah, in the chat.
Wow. How did you order the book with all those characters?
Well, there's Google Translate. And
thank you. Yeah, life easy. Thank you. That's true.
Also Mandarake. Well, you basically just take his Japanese kanjis, then you go to Mandarake, to the site, man. Wait a second. Then you go to English, right? You want to have this on English.
Okay, I'm putting the link in the chat.
Then you put in his kanjis and press on search.
Oh, that's smart.
And there you will find his books.
Wow.
But yeah, they can be sold out quite a lot. So sometimes they are in stock, like right here, this one, for example. Yeah, and sometimes it can be very tough to get them. But yeah, go for the incompleteness ones, the mini ones. They are very cool. Or the flip book, for example. This is also super cool.
This is amazing.
This is so cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know this was out there.
Yeah, me neither.
Now you do. Now you do. Another person I would suggest to look up to is Mitsuo Iso.
Yes, I forgot about him. Yes,
he also has books, man.
Legend.
Wow.
I don't know. He doesn't have the links right here, unfortunately. But he also has like sold his stuff on Amazon.co.japanese. I don't know if I find the link right now. Unfortunately not. If I find it, I'm gonna send it to you. But yeah, I also got his 2 books. I got them at home. And yeah, he even has his Genga in there, his timesheet and stuff. You can actually understand how much craft is actually behind these drawings when you see all these hand-drawn stuff. Okay. Like time to finish our punch, right?
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I like to talk about this stuff a lot. I'm sorry. I'm a maniac when it comes to this. That's like my triggering spot.
Yeah, we noticed. Thank you.
Okay. You can be very lucky because now everyone will feel very bad because you got like the extra cake.
I'm sorry.
You even got an animation, basically. Be unfair. No, that's cool, I guess. I think it's good to calm down because now I like send out a lot of information and maybe pretty fun to like cool down a little bit and see something else instead of just my face answering questions. Okay. So what I did now is like I finished my drawing, right? Like my animation. I did 1 second, as you can see. And let's see the motion. Whoa. Right? So he's like building up, making uppercuts super fast. It's not very good, but it does the job to explain it, right?
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So basically, I didn't rename the files on purpose. So basically, whenever I have a keyframe, I would probably call it 1 and then draw a circle around it. And whenever I draw an in-between, I would make a triangle around it. That's how the Japanese industry do it. So if you ever if you ever watch a look at Gangos or something, you will notice these numbers or something in the corner. That's basically just the count of the drawings. Okay.
Oh my God, you're adding gold, man.
Yeah, I've been wondering what was those circles and triangles.
Me too.
It was just the shape this whole time.
Yeah, so basically they just count the numbers of the frames and like of the individual drawings. Let's say this is an in-between 2, and then this is the key. So basically, as you can see, I have like key number 1, there's an in-between. Key number 2 is on frame 4, so between basically frame 1 and 2 would be like the in-between guidelines. So this is basically how the production works. You would also see this. This is basically the in-between chart is what it's called. So it basically would tell you where the in-betweens are. And so the in-betweener has a guideline on what to draw on. Wow. Okay. Good. Then I'm gonna go back to my face. Where's my face? I need to find my face, man.
Oh, you have to go to the top of the screen. Do you have one screen or multiple screens?
I have multiple screens.
On one of the screens on the top, you're gonna see like hover your mouse and then it appears the stop sharing button.
Oh, stop sharing button. Okay. Okay, cool.
There you go.
Am I back now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I hope this was helpful.
Yeah, yes, it was extremely helpful.
Okay.
Explosively helpful.
Okay, as I said, check out Striving for Animation. They basically go into detail with all this stuff, and they give you much better idea and a very broad idea about what there actually is and how much you need to know. Cool.
Okay.
Striving for Animation.
Yeah, it's also a link also has been posted in the chat by Constanza.
Awesome.
Thank you again.
Okay. Next person, please.
Next, and we're done for the questions. Mino Meme, we didn't answer yours, but I don't know if you can hear us and if you can unmute yourself. Jasmine?
Yes, I can.
Hey, perfect.
Hello, Jasmine.
Nice. Jasmine is on slide 5.
On slide 5.
Yes.
Jasmine.
During brainstorming process for animation ideas, do you draw all the action at once or going through one by one? I tried to do all at once. My brain hurts. So brainstorming process for animation ideas. So most of the time I just start drawing and everything else unfolds by itself in the process, to be honest. But I also have times.
Sounds like Constanza.
Well, I also have times where I have like, for example, if I want to like do my own shorts, I would do like small storyboards. I would draw random doodles inside my sketchbook, and nobody could read them, just me. But they would basically, I would try to draw out the composition like of each image. For example, I have like 2 characters, they stand in front of each other. I would like to know which perspective to use, where the camera would be and stuff. Maybe how the camera would move and stuff. I would try to write down these kind of things in the brainstorming process. So basically when I develop my storyboard, that's also where I like get animation ideas. And while you do that, I'm pretty sure you will find new ideas. In the moment of creation, that's like where you fool your inspiration. That's what I like to say. Because while you create, like your brain actually gets into the process of thinking, like of creating something. So you'd also like try to do new stuff, and you will also find new ideas that you want to try, or like you're like, oh my god, maybe I could add that, or maybe the character could do that and stuff like that. Like it just comes on its own then. And if it doesn't come on its own in a strong way yet, it will start to become stronger over time, and you will get better at it. You can also train that. Good answer.
So it's like a daily routine, is it?
It's also daily routine, but yeah, I mean, you're probably creative, right? Do you have your own characters? Do you have your own characters?
Not much, but I do.
Have you ever drawn an OC?
Yes.
Then just build a story about your OC, and then you try to draw like a daily scene. For example, he goes into the kitchen and wants to cook an egg. How would this look for you? Like, how would you try to animate that? Try to like draw small thumbnails. They can be very fast and super tiny.
Okay.
I don't know. Does this help?
It does.
Yeah.
And also, in the question, she says, do you draw all the action at once, or do you go through one by one?
Yeah, I mostly draw all the action at once, because I already know how to draw my characters. Like I have like so much routine that I can like animate every body part, you know, like as you can see in my animation that I like basically just showed. I can just animate what like the whole body easily. Like I understand how the other parts of the body have to behave. For example, when he's trying to go for a swing, or like, for example, if I want to have like a small punch again, his upper body would be straight, while his shoulders and like there would be some slight hip rotation actually. And then I would like consider that kind of stuff. For the people who start out, you know, like who are still learning, I would not suggest to do that because it's pretty tough. I would suggest to like keep it very simple and maybe just try to animate one part by one, you know. Like I also had like a lot of practices where I would like just animate one arm, and then when I did like the motion of the arm, like just a stick figure, I mean, it can be 3 lines, right? Mm-hmm. Then you can start to add the detail once the motion is complete. I think your problem is that you're also focused on the details. You also want to draw like the eyelashes, or maybe the hair and the cloth.
Yes.
And that's the problem, you know. Like just try to break it down. Draw it like I did, maybe, like, or even less. Like you can draw even less. You can just draw a simple stick figure. That's enough. And then you just put another layer onto it, and then you draw the detail. But try to get down the motion first before you add more details. Keep the cloths and stuff like for later. Then don't dive into that. Like nobody does that. Nobody does that, really. Like even professional animators. For example, there's this animator who's called Ken Yamamoto, and he literally, oh my God, I gotta screenshot this.
Yes.
He literally, really, he drew some of his frames just looked like this, man. Like I was like, okay, how did he get an anime character out of this? But that's all he needed. That's all he needed. He started, then he on the next layer, he was just cleaning it up.
It's amazing.
Yeah, dude, this is, some people are just ridiculous, man. Like, he was just like then turning down the opacity, have the next layer, and then he would like already have like a crazy pose like added to that, you know. Then,
from a stick man.
Yeah, from a stick man, but like he knew exactly what to draw. Like this pose was enough for him to like figure out how to draw this efficiently, like I'm trying to do right now, you know. So for example,
it's gonna be time consuming.
I don't know if it's going to be time consuming, man. I'm gonna draw it super fast, like
yeah, but that's the thing when you're doing animation, right? That time goes too fast and you don't realize if it's time consuming or not. You're just enjoying it.
Yeah, in animation the time just slips through your hands like very fast. Sometimes you just wake up in the morning, start drawing, and then it's already evening and you're like, oh, okay. Day's already over and I just finished one shot. God damn it. Oh, nice. I still have 50 more cuts to go. Oh, deadline is tomorrow. I don't know, man. Like he would do it like this, man. I don't know, dude. I can't even draw a pose about the stick with the stick figure here. But you get my point, right? Like all you need to have is basically a very very rough drawing of your character. And for example, like on this one, I can probably clean this up much more easier. For example, I would like to have a shirt or something. Then I would have folds. Here's his biceps. I have to go a little bit slower right now because otherwise the details won't look so good. Okay. But you can see like how much the structure is helping me to create like a certain drawing for my character right now. It can be very painful though to do that if you have characters with a lot of detail. So try to keep them like as simplistic as possible. I think Sandra was it with the snail, right? No, Susana. She used the snail, right? It's actually a very simple character. Something like that is what I would suggest when you like try to start out. Okay, so I got my character right now, and I don't know. I just made it up from my mind. I don't know. I've never drawn this guy before, so he's pretty new.
Welcome to the world.
Okay, and so now I have like an actual character design as well. And then I would just, go frame by frame, draw over it, add these keyframes over here too, and start to clean it up and add more frames. And use this thing as a base, like the rough drawing here. I hope that helps.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, I think that answered the question quite well.
Yes, really, thank you for the demos. Really helpful.
Okay.
Awesome.
So
I don't know. That's all. We do have two more people who didn't submit the question in time. We have Waylon and Jess. I don't know if you have time right now, Chris, to listen.
I have time. I'm here, man. Like I'm not gone yet.
Oh.
I'm gonna answer the questions.
So Waylon, Waylon on Jess or Jess, you can unmute yourself if you want to ask a question. Hello, can you hear us?
I don't know.
Hello.
Hey, Waylon, there you go.
Yes. Hey there.
Hi, Chris. I just wanted to ask, because you're talking a lot about how the body interacts with each other. So I just wanted to know how you studied that.
How I studied that? So as I said, like I'm just gonna do my screen sharing thing because that's actually the fastest and best way. As already posted, there's body emotion. Constanza posted, there's body emotion, right?
Right now you're not sharing.
I'm not sharing yet. Wait a second. I'm preparing right now.
That happens to me all the time.
But then I have like certain animators like Yutkarsha Nakamura that we also talked about before.
Yes.
And for example, he has like his rough animations is like posted on social, on Sakugaburu. And then you can see frame by frame how he actually, drew the poses to draw the
Sword of the Stranger.
This is from Sword of the Stranger. Cool, right? So beautiful. Things like this gave me a better idea on how to draw my poses and how to simplify them as well. You can see how simplified, for example, he drew the feet or like some of the lines, how rough they are, but still give like a clear idea about the character itself, right?
Yes.
Then you also have like things like this. This is from My Hero Academia. This is like you can see like this. He's like making just one hand swing. Like studying other animators can also help to like get a better idea about how to draw the motion. And yeah, otherwise I would go to YouTube, my favorite site, and I would like, I don't know, there is this one guy who's called Teshomaru, and he's just like a lot of tricking, and he's like, whoa. I used to watch him back then, dude. This is like super old from 2006, right? But like he's like doing super cool moves and the slow-mo. And then
did you get ideas from there for your stick figures? Because
yeah, dude, this is one of my best inspirations. This guy.
Wow.
This is a little bit better quality, even though it's still bad. But hold on a second. Like, for example, you can like just pause the video at any point and use point and comma to like flip through the frames. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna pick up another video. For example, I'm gonna pick up a Sakuga mat, for example. And if I use point and comma right now, I can also flip through the frames. And you can see how some things are moving and some aren't. That means that like the timing is just different, like on different layers. That means the effects itself are differently timed too. And you can also see how like the motion itself is like working out and how it gives the smooth feeling.
Wow.
It's very cool to just skip through the frames. That helps a lot.
Okay.
Another animator some of you might know is Waylon, if you ever heard of him. He is also very good, and he's one of the upcoming prodigies, basically. He's one of the prodigies right now in the animation industry. And for example, he animated this very cool fight. People like him also inspired me, and I learned a lot from him. So I suggest to like skip through his stuff, because his stuff is super intense, very super well drawn, basically, powerful. He has choreography. He drew his backgrounds, and this thing took him like 3 months to do the whole thing. And you can basically clearly see why, because drawing so many frames, and I don't know, this part, for example, is so fast. You can just see it if you like go it's frame by frame, because you animated on once on this part. That's so crazy. And you can also see how he used the smears, for example, right here. So he's like punching multiple times, and you can also see how the body always recoils when he's like when the hand is coming back up, the body also comes more to the front.
Wow. That's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. Yeah, this guy's a genius, and he's like 20 or like maybe 18. I don't know, man. He's like 3 years old or something. But yeah, dude, he's like a genius. Honestly, he's a genius. Like the work he's done this year already is out of any league. Like he's already, I don't know, man. He's has so much resolve, and he's working so hard on his stuff. And that's why I greatly suggest to check out his work. Most of his gangas are also online on Sakugaburu right here. So, for example, he worked on the Hades video game trailer. I don't know if you've seen this. If you've seen, did you guys know about the game Hades?
No, I haven't.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, he did this crazy animation part right here. This is also Waylon saying. Then he did the super epic fight scene from Hitori no Shita. Yeah, he's like fucking monster. People like him really can teach you a lot about body mechanics, motion, and stuff like that. So checking out people like this, like they are like on a very high level, those are the people you should look up, and where you can learn the most from, I think. Does this help?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, one more. Is there like how much real life anatomy did you look at, like in terms of movies and stuff like that?
Oh, anatomy? Anatomy, as I said, like I checked up a lot of Kim Jong-gi, this guy, and he draws like very, very detailed stuff, and he also has like
like the site we put earlier, isn't it?
Yeah, he draws everything with pen right away without any sketches or something. He just knows where to put the lines. And he also has lessons, basically. And you can also look them up on YouTube. And there he's like giving anatomy and perspective lessons. Let's skip right away. And then you can see like how he's just, randomly drawing the perfect body, and like thinking about like where the folds for the stomach is. But he also would like have much more simplified forms, and where he shows how he does that. This is already like how he would draw without and over here he shows basically how he breaks it down into shapes. Okay, so he's using cubes and stuff to like get a better idea about the perspective. And this is basically already how he thinks about it, but he can already like make the next step and adds a detail, because he already has been drawing for 40 years or something, and he's drawing a lot. Like this guy is an absolute monster, basically. Yeah, so you can definitely learn from him just the way he's like moving the pencil or like the pen, how careful he's drawing the lines. Things like this can really influence your drawings, your work. You can learn a lot from him in terms of anatomy. Then there is Proko. He has a more traditional approach, and he's going very into detail and how to draw loose shapes with reference, how to draw gesture. That's like the super basic stuff. And that's what I also suggest very much to look into. All his videos are super educational, on point, and helpful. And he helped me quite a lot to get better. Like, I really enjoy watching his stuff. Then there is
stuff, yeah.
What?
I'm familiar with Proko, yeah.
Okay, you're familiar with Proko. You're probably also familiar with Ethan Becker.
Yes, yeah. The guy with the cigarette.
Yeah, okay, yeah, the man with the cigarette. He's also giving good advice. Then there's Ross Draws.
Yeah.
Then there's Cynics Design.
Oh,
He's also super good at all this stuff. Like, he's showing how to paint, how to sculpt, how to draw faces in. Then there's Modern Day James. He's also super good. He's also
woman,
Yeah, he's also getting into animation recently, apparently. Yeah. And super interesting how he approaches animation, because he's like, all I've known him for is an illustrator. But he has a very strong foundation for drawing and stuff. So he's probably a little bit ahead in terms of, like, collecting that knowledge and stuff. A lot to learn from him. But yeah, these are the people I recommend to look up to.
Wow. Awesome.
Cool.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And Jess, can you unmute yourself while you're here? Yes.
He can only grade. He or she. I don't know if he or she, but only can grade because has no microphone. So Jess, if you are listening to us, just write your questions and Chris is gonna make an answer.
Yes. Just read the question.
I think he's typing, or she. I don't know if you're Jess Taylor. Well.
What's your question for answer? That's good. That's good to know. Cool. Glad to hear that.
Yes. Wow.
It's just I have a lot of unconfidence. You don't need to. I don't know. Like, why would you feel unconfident? What is wrong with you that you think that you need to be unconfident about yourself? What is there that you can do wrong when there are other people who draw furry porn? Oh my God, this joke wasn't good.
Sorry, I didn't get it. Sorry.
You didn't even realize it. Okay. It's just my animation isn't studio standard. I don't work too hard. Okay, so getting studio standard is not something that happens overnight, and some people take a while to actually get into the right idea of what they want to do. Like, in the end, life is all about, finding yourself, probably. And I don't think anyone here actually completely knows what they are doing in their life. Like, of course, they know a few things that they're doing. They still make some money, but how do you know what you're doing is right? Okay, so like, nobody exactly can tell you that. Like, just other people can give you an opinion. But yeah, the truth of someone else doesn't have to become your own truth, So try to figure out what you want to do for yourself. And if you really want to do animation for yourself and really like animation, and you will come to a point where you actually start to work harder. And you will decide to go that way, and then you just do it every day. and then you will create the habit. When you're passionate about animation, then you're already having at least half the passion already. Then you're already on a good track. Yeah, that's the frustrating part. That's hard work. It can take multiple weeks sometimes to just finish 3 seconds. Yeah, that happened to me too. Like, for example, there was this one shot I did for a movie, and I had to animate this one character, and I had to draw him like 40 times, and he was overly detailed, and he was also grabbed by a hand of giant monster, and the monster was also overly detailed, and he had his overly detailed swords that he has to step into the monster's arm. And then he also had a chain that you also had to wrap around that sword, and all that kind of stuff. And this shot probably took me like a week to finish, and I worked on it like 10 hours a day. And on the end of the day, I did like 5 frames and was like, okay, some progress, I guess. You know, that's like animation. That's how it can be. We're getting paid hundreds of dollars for a few seconds where we put our all soul into this. It is very hard, dude. Like, I don't have any shortcuts or something. I have to do I spend all my time on it like everyone else. Don't get frustrated though. Like, enjoy it. Put on some good music. And also, I feel like the best satisfying feeling is when you actually finished something on the end of the day. Like when you look back and you say, okay, I maybe just finished these 5 frames, but I feel good about having made these 5 frames made, you know. And on the week when you finish the shot, you're like, holy crap, that actually was worth the time that I put in. And I think that's the feeling actually what keeps me going. And the craziest feeling comes when the whole finished project is finished, when you are like, okay, I worked on this like 5 months straight. I did like 120 seconds of animation. I feel so good right now. Like, so much pressure just drops off your shoulders, and you just feel good. You just feel good. You feel relieved. You feel like you accomplished something, and you also feel kind of empty because all this pressure is suddenly gone. You know, there's nothing anymore that, like, you know, could drag you down. You just did it. It's very hard to explain, but it's a super good feeling. And that's probably the thing. This small moment after like 5 months of suffering is the moment that like makes me appreciate animation so much, or like makes me enjoy it.
And actually, this was something that we were talking about a little bit before we started. That a lot of the time we get so worried and we don't start. Like, get worried, but then Zazil, I love what you typed in the chat. Like, get occupied, not preoccupied. Like, do something about it. If you're worried, be worried, but do something about it, right?
Yeah, surround yourself with people is super important, but don't let them distract you too much. Like, honestly, procrastination is part of an artist, and procrastination also like pops up in every other kind of job too. A lot of people have the feeling, oh no, I don't want to work right now, or I don't want to do this, but still they have to go to work to sell their bread. Yeah, dude, the Howard Wimser Discord is probably very helpful, and Howard really takes his time to do these videos and tries to get the people on the right track. He's really working hard, man. Like, he's really trying to do his best to educate and help people.
It's just really cool because there's so little people that does what we do, and like it's good to have like a community where we can all like be together and talk nonsense
Yeah, the funny thing is the like there's not even that little people. There's massive amounts of people you don't even know about. You don't get the whole Asian part, you know. There's so many crazy Chinese or Japanese kids who are like 12 years old and already create crazy parkour. There's also like, for example, there's this one kid, like he's 16 or something, and he already worked on multiple movies. He worked on multiple anime shows, and they will all air like around next year probably. Dude, this guy is he's completely crazy. He comes back home from school and animating 10 hours. I don't know, man. He's not doing nothing else.
What?
Yeah, there are people like this. There are people like this.
Are they like kids animating?
Yeah, they're kids. They're like 16 years old and work in anime industry.
Wow.
And they are crazy good too. Like
It's their culture.
It's not
They
even
are
their
very
culture.
disciplined.
This kid is not even from Japan, man. This kid is
No.
from the Philippines.
I was still like sucking my thumb at that age. I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Look, they're like some people just do the thing and they don't slack around or like they don't procrastinate. They don't. There's no reason to feel insecure. Just the only thing you can do is do the thing. Sometimes you even might find your emotions to be like super overwhelming and you just randomly cry in front of your tablet because you don't know if it's right what you're doing, right? You feel super unconfident. But just pull through. That's all I can give you on the way, and everything else will come to you. Like hold your family and your friends close, and you will have a great foundation and a way to go, I think, and you will be fine. I think there's actually not much to worry about, in my opinion.
So, Jess, does that answer your question? You can answer on the chat.
Hopefully.
He's typing.
You will get there. Just take your time and don't worry too much about it. Focus on the process. Focus on the moment right now. What happens in the future, nobody will know. Like maybe there will be another virus and it will kill us all instantly. Then you don't have to worry anyway. So
That's terrible.
yeah, sorry. Just something that came out of my mouth right now. Dude, like if you just graduated, you're still super young. Like, I mean, I started getting into anime with 2022. Like I started getting into, learning anime with 22, and I'm 27 now, and I'm just freelancer for a year, right? So it took me actually 3 to 4 years to actually get to the point. So you're basically at the point where I was before when I actually started, right? And it's possible to like get there into 3 years. Like it's not impossible.
So yeah, the thing is like we think it's gonna happen tomorrow, but if you're 22, like calm down on when you are 27. If you draw like quick question, Chris, like how many hours were you invested like a week when you started at 22? Like every week?
Every time when I came back from work, basically I took like at least 5 hours every day, and on the weekend sometimes 16 hours, because I wanted to get good very fast. And I just wanted to draw. And dude, most of my stuff is just random unfinished doodles that nobody will ever see on this planet. I will never post them anywhere, but the other half that's kind of okay is on my YouTube, so you can at least see that.
Wow.
So like it just depends on yourself, I think.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway is like Zin tells, like to have fun in the process and not the result.
The result will come on its own. You can't predict the result. You never actually know exactly how it will turn out. like the storyboard, for example, would give you a guideline of how it could look like, but you're still in charge of the motion. So you have still control of it and bring your own magic into this. And that's the fun thing about the process, definitely.
Awesome. And Zazil. Okay, Zazil, you feel old, you're 29? Come on, I'm 37 and I'm barely starting with all this.
Yeah, like but when you see lots of kids 12 years old, super amazing. Sometimes you compare yourself, it's kind of hard not to compare.
No, you don't. That's the biggest problem. Don't compare yourself. Like, age doesn't matter.
I try not to compare myself, but well, sometimes it's hard getting inspiration from this kid.
Takes inspiration. Takes
yeah,
inspiration.
I
but
keep trying.
And the rest should be okay. Like there's, I also know a few people that started very late. For example, there's the French animator called Mehdi, or I don't know his name. Hold on a second. I'm gonna show you the guy. He also recently answered a lot of questions on his Instagram. And he's a French animator, and he also worked on My Hero Academia, and is also living in Tokyo right now. So he works in Japan for anime. And he also started very late. Before that, he just did like 3D animation and kind of stuff. He never went to a university or something. He also learned by himself through friends, from France, from some animator friends. And then at some point, he just got into animation, like 2D animation by chance. And now he's working in Japan. He's 31, you know. He's also not the youngest, but still like is now rising up as an animator in the industry.
Yeah, people say age doesn't matter in this industry.
It doesn't. It definitely doesn't.
Depends on how much effort you want to put into it.
Exactly.
This is maybe, by the way.
That's a great way to say it, Shannon. Yes. Like instead of focusing on the age, focus on how much effort you're putting. Don't compare like the age. Compare like this kid comes from home and blah, Chris 5 hours a day. That's insane. And this kid probably puts more, maybe 7 a day. I don't know.
Yeah, that's different. Like there could be this one kid that puts in more time, but to be honest, sometimes what I think is also a big issue in our social wait a second, I need to find the right word. A big issue is that
community. Community.
Yeah, in our community, like in general with people, is that everyone starts to compare, and like people try to find like some kind of level or some kind of numbers or something they can hold on to or compare to. Oh wow, this guy has 1 million followers, but in the end, it's only a normal human as well. And I think a lot of people get distracted by these numbers instead of focusing on just themselves. I think if you start to zone that out, you will not fall into this pit or like this hole of where you like your ego is based on the level or like the from others, like how can I say, just if you compare, just compare to learn and not to like drag yourself down in terms of ego or something. Like there needs to be still like a healthy self-esteem within you, and so you can keep, otherwise you will have a lot of problem with your like a lot of psychological problems that will keep you back. Create this art block, for example, or something, or I don't know, man. Like there's a lot of things that can happen.
I kind of have I kind of have had what did you say? Depression problems for about 1 year, maybe more. I don't know, because I have had many problems in my life. So I think maybe the problem that Jess is also having some kind of the type of depression problems are harder. I mean, they just don't go. If you hear the people telling you that keep going on, sometimes for people with this type of problems, it's not enough. So I think if she has this type of problems I was having, I mean, I keep struggling with that sometimes. It might be good to go to a psychologist, because sometimes it's really not enough.
Yeah,
It's something stronger.
yeah, I don't necessarily ever had depression problem for myself, so it's pretty hard for me to understand of people like that also. And that's why I have a very optimistic kind of view. And I'm sorry if doesn't reach you, or like if it's like maybe a little bit offensive, because not every person can think like me, right? But it's getting out of something like that. I can imagine it just super hard, you know, like not everyone has a good psychological, has a healthy psychological mind. And maybe you can find something that helps you to build it up over time slowly. And that gives you like a little bit of confidence and helps you get a little bit more into it. For some people, it helps to do sport. For some people, it might just be around
Exercise helps a lot.
for some,
Exercise, meditation.
yeah, meditation. Drawing is kind of meditating, to be honest, because you the only thing you focus on drawing the lines, and the rest just happens inside your head, right? You're like,
I mean, I was just thinking that the way Jess was talking. I mean, I'm not an expert, no, but I have had a lot of problems in my life. Like since I'm 10 years old, my mom died. Since then, I'm having a lot of problems.
Yeah,
so
I can imagine.
The way she was writing, or sorry, I don't know. I was imagining maybe she's having harder struggles in life. Maybe that will be good, because I mean, I don't know how to say that in English. People tend to overlook sometimes the psychological part of an artist that is extremely important. Because if you're not fine from inside yourself, it doesn't matter how much hard you're working, you will just, I mean, you need to be fine from inside to be fine also in your skills, I think.
Yeah, it sometimes art can be helpful to describe how you feel inside and bring that feeling outside, and also like helps you to work better with how you feel about yourself, right? That's why art is also kind of a gateway for other people who struggle with socializing or like communicating with other people. And that's why I think it can be very helpful, and I really hope it does help you, like, and it does give you a direction, and you find some people where you can share this your feelings with, and they can pick you up when you feel down, and you don't harm yourself too much.
Yeah, I have seen normally people in this industry is very supportive.
Yeah, there are some very supportive ones, but there's also the opposite side. So like
thankfully I haven't got that.
Yeah, I have met a few people who are very young and they got very early into the industry, but they are like have a very arrogant and egoistical attitude. So they don't have the same view as me, who has been working in all kind of jobs and have seen all kinds of people who might not be like, you know, the best or something. And then they start to like playing the comparing game, and you know, if you're not on a certain level, they wouldn't even interact with you, and or like they would just talk down on you, for example, and like, yeah, don't you think that you could be better, blah blah blah. And don't you think other people in the industry won't, pick on you because when you do a mistake? Well, there are these kind of people who like talk down to you and like try to drag you down because for reasons you might not understand. And there are people who are like very patient, take their time, show you how to do it properly, and they try to pick you up where you are, like they really try to come towards you and try to work with you. And I'm sure if you take your time and, like do your thing, you will come across that kind of person and you will cherish this person. And you will probably love to work for that person too, because that person treats you with respect and love, And this is also something that's it's just it just happens sometimes. There are people like this. I don't know, people like this. I know. Okay, I'm sorry, getting a little bit far away, a little bit emotional and sensitive right here. But I think it's also important to talk about this stuff.
Yes.
Very powerful.
Thank you, Zazil, for sharing your experience. One thing that you share here is that we are here for becoming animators, for you to learn how to get better in animation, but you are and we are humans, so we face problems. And if you have the chance to share a little bit of that here, welcome. And if you want to talk in person, you just can write me anywhere, anytime. And like this is a community, people, like even if we don't know each other, even if I don't see the face of all of you or we are far away, we are facing the same situation, wanted to become animators. Like even if you call yourself animator because you make some animation, like every day we can learn something different. So try to talk each other. If you want to know something, write to someone else. I knew that Minomin helped someone else when even if she won the contest, she started helping other people. So this is the kind of society we want to build up. You are here learning, and tomorrow you are going to be teaching to someone else that is going to start at the same pot and you.
Oh, adding to that, I also learned a lot by teaching others, by the way, because when you teach someone else something or you look at someone else's work, you will also find certain aspects of certain problems that you already try to solve for yourself before because you already like incurred them, like you already had these problems yourself, or like these people find new problems that help you to understand your problems, like even a community can make you so much stronger, and like learning from someone can be super helpful, teaching someone can be super helpful. In the end, both people always profit from it if like the communication is friendly and careful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Zazil, and by the way, let me also tell you this. I used to be incredibly depressed, really depressed, and I was suicidal for 25 years. I'm not kidding. It was serious for me. So let me tell you, I can tell you, happiness is a skill. I can tell you that. So it's something you can develop. I learned to be happy. I learned to be an optimistic, and now actually the people I accept in my team are only positive, beautiful people like Constanza. She's like, yeah. So that's what I look on for in my team. So happiness is a skill. So I would challenge you to do this every day. Invest like half an hour reading something, get books on how to be happy. There's books on that. That's how I got my happiness, that how I developed it. There's this.
I'm also learning with the books.
Yes.
Even in YouTube, you can find a lot of channels.
And what you need to know is that it's a skill. So it's not something you buy and then you get it. No, you develop it, and it's a journey. It's not an event. It's like exactly like animation. It's gonna take you probably 2-3 years, but I promise you're gonna be smiling and you're gonna be super happy. Not like the social phase, like no, like internally you wake up alone and you go, yes. It's without anyone watching you. So it's beautiful. I'm telling you, happiness is a skill.
And if you're animating, it's because somehow it makes you happy. I mean, why are you going to do something that makes you suffer? If you are volunteering in becoming an animator, participating into a challenge of animations every week during 6 weeks, like, so it means that somehow it makes you feel good. So try to also write down things that makes you feel good as much too, so you can start learning as much about yourself, and try to mix all of that. Like if you're a cooker, put all the ingredients that make you happier. And if animation is the ingredient, well, this is the place. Welcome. Yeah, that's it.
How do you feel right now, Zazil?
Fine. I'm nervous because I'm talking about this.
Yes.
That is kind of personal, no?
It's
I mean,
okay.
I haven't, these days I'm fine, no? But
there are gonna be dark days.
It's something very, very old that I haven't even noticed that I had, no? I have problem I had in the past. I'm working on that every day. So I'm better than before. Before I was also, well, I was not suicidal, but I was always thinking about, I should die. I don't know why I'm here.
You have even more hope than me then.
No,
these questions
fine.
are these questions are normal though. Like nobody really knows why we're here. We're just here, okay?
I want to share you one day a teacher of art, she used to tell me that the reason why people used to draw is because on real life we don't have the chance to like undo our mistakes or undo our experience. So when you have when people used to draw on caverns and like and you draw but you cannot erase things completely, it's like human experience. We face experiences, we cannot erase our memory completely, we cannot forget, we cannot go back to the past. And it's like in the animation the same, you are making something and then you play because you add one experience, you remake that in the next frame, you remake that in the next frame, and then you play, like put play and you see the wall movement. I think it's the same that happened with us. We have an experience, we cannot undo the experience, but we can resignificate by making another frame. So you take the experience and you readjust with your present and so on. Like animation, I think for me it's like that. You keep, you add and keep.
Yeah, you keep on adding new mistakes.
Exactly. Yes.
Basically, imagine it's just like that. Like everything you do right now, and for me, on the next day, I will already say I regret what I just did, because it's like on the next day you can see like all the mistakes you do down. You get like a completely new, fresh. And well, you get like a few fresh mind on how you look at the thing. And if you do that for stuff you've done like 1 year ago, 1 year ago, like for example, if I would look back at the work that I've done 1 year ago, I think that's pretty cringe, for me. Like I would like, oh my God, I've done so many mistakes. But now I can like clearly see what was the problem, or like what kind of mistakes I did. And sometimes I would just look like, pick up my even super old work and just see what kind of fundamental mistakes I'm actually doing. And then I'm just going to try to tackle them, because some mistakes will follow you your whole life.
Yeah.
Some problems, but we're humans. We're like, we need to do mistakes to learn something. It's just how it works.
Yes.
Like if we didn't do mistakes, man, we would never like found electricity or like fire, or like we never would realize that killing animals is actually wrong, but we still do it because there's like people who just do it. And some people just don't want to give up meat, and some other people want to tell you to become vegan. And then you need to like, I don't know, would you feel bad about it if people tell you to become vegan but you don't want to?
What?
I don't know. Would you feel bad about it if people tell you to become vegan because you're literally killing animals but you don't want to?
No, people have told me. I'm in India, so people is vegan here.
Yeah, and in the end, it's up for you to decide if you want to become vegan or not. And if you want to like if you want to keep eating meat or not. Like you can inform yourself, but it doesn't necessarily change your mind, you know. I don't know, like we have to live with some decisions that we make is basically just the whole point that I'm trying to bring across. And yeah, and if we like set up our mind and do something, we should also approach it and do it all the way. That's what I think. Of course, nothing negative. Don't kill people. Don't do that.
No, please.
Do that kind of stuff. Don't become a murderer. You can draw. You can draw in your drawings. You can murder people.
Yeah.
In your imagination, that's fine. That's okay.
Games.
In video games, you can do that. That's fine. You don't necessarily hurt someone in real life.
That's why we need animators. Yes, because many people has many feelings like killing people. I have felt that before too, sometimes killing people, but you don't kill people. You just draw that. Like when
Constanza,
you're like a cute bunny. Speaking about murdering.
No, but I mean for mental health, I study psychologist and I switched to animation because I wanted to bring psychologists into a new level. I didn't want to have this one-on-one coaching with people in 4 walls. I prefer have my 4 walls, but with a computer in which I can create everything that I imagine. And you can see that everywhere with any people. So I think also we as that we want to promote mental health. We need people that can make and create new stuff and try to publish that into social medias, because some people are not going to get the money to get a counselor or go to a psychologist. And animation can be very helpful. And one story can help someone to understand what they are feeling or what they are facing.
That's very true. That's very true.
There is already one channel that is Psych2Go.
Psych2Go? Can you type it?
It's animated. Everything is animated. It's very simple to understand, and it's just like little bites of psychology.
It's How to Love?
No. I think it's written like this. I don't remember.
Oh, Psych2Go.
Oh, okay.
Psych2Go. Okay, I will take it. And yeah, like that. I mean, we need creative minds to face mental health and to improve our society. If it wasn't by creativity, I mean, we need to develop humor too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, sometimes they're funny also in their channel.
Okay.
That's it.
I don't know if are there any more questions, because slowly I would like to take my leave then if there's nobody else who has anything to ask.
Wow, almost 3 hours. Thank you, Chris.
Oh my God, 2 hours and a half.
Yeah, and otherwise, if you have something to talk about, we can also talk about that. But like, I would like rather go really into the animation direction. Psychology is fun and stuff, but I'm not here for that.
I have one animation question.
Okay.
Remember you put the little circles with the number 1, number 2, like that from the in-betweens?
Yes.
I wanted to ask, what is the lines that animators put there? Is it the timing?
The in-between shot. Hold on a second. It's screen share time.
Yay.
So this is one animator. She's called Gem.
You're not sharing yet.
One second. Let me look her up real quick.
Okay.
So this is one animator. She's called Gem. She's from USA. She also has been working in anime recently, and she's always providing very clean work. That's probably the best example to take hers. 1 second. I'm gonna try to find. Oh yeah, this one is perfect. Where's the screen thing? Okay. I'm sharing right now. So as you can see, she has an in-between shot over here on the left. See that?
Yeah.
Right. So basically between A1 and A2, she wants 2 more in-betweens.
Oh.
That's why these points are here. These points are for the in-betweens.
So that's like an instruction for the assistant animator?
Exactly. There will be an in-between animator in Japanese industry who will in-between your work. So the triangles are maybe like guidelines. So he draws over your guidelines. but you can also say the in-betweener should do it by himself. Okay.
So those are like two drawings in the middle, no?
Yeah, there's like, yeah,
case?
exactly. Two drawings for the in-betweener to do. These other two are animated by Gem. Like these are the keyframes. Gem animated the keyframes. And then there's two more drawings from A2 to A3. Right? You can see that.
Yes.
They're like the in-between chart is still there. And then there's just one drawing between A3 and A1, A4. And so on. She keeps using it. Like there's a lot of in-between shots. And then you can see the final post on how it looks like when it's smooth. Hold on a second. So this is like just the keys, right? And now we go to the parent post, which is basically the finished product. I'm gonna find the shot. It should be over here. It's the last shot. And you can see how now there are more frames in between. You can see that like these frames, for example, are the in-between frames over here. These two. If you like hold it next to the other one, you will clearly see that. That's why the in-between. Cool, right?
Cool,
very interesting.
so
Yeah.
cool.
Like she does very good guidelines, and they're always very clearly written and stuff. And yeah, very great work. She's amazing. Like, well, she also uses like computer generated effects sometimes. Super crazy stuff, as you can see. Okay, cool.
Like this, right? The effects like this, right?
Oh, what book is this?
I don't know. I can't read it. I found it during my
It looks
trip
pretty.
to Japan. Yes.
Oh,
Anime.
yeah. The effects are pretty cool, very nicely drawn. It's also clearly Gengar.
I also found this. I also bought this from my visit to.
Very nice, man. Time to pick up my collection too. I got so many books, man.
Oh man.
Hold on a second.
Oh my god.
Also from Ghibli, Studio Ghibli, like storybook.
Yeah.
I got it from secondhand store.
Oh, very
yes,
cool,
Lupin,
man.
yes.
Chris,
This whole
you're
book
being
is like
ultra
this whole book
generous,
is like one episode, like this whole book, the storybook.
Oh, super nice, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you have there, Chris?
Freaking amazing, dude. Okay, so over here I got, I don't know, man, if you can see that.
No.
It's from Takafumi Hori. Takafumi Hori, he worked on some of this work from Steven Universe and from how is it called? Samurai Champloo. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah.
And that's like, can you see the drawings? Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
Is this storyboarding?
No, this is all animation. It's key animation.
Oh,
You can see all the frames. You go from here down there, and then over here. Basically.
Yeah, like the Japanese reading.
Yeah, exactly. And then you go. I think you go down here. I don't know, man. I haven't looked too close into it, but the drawings are very nicely done. This is all layout, basically.
Wow.
Super nice drawings.
Wow.
And you can see how super dynamic and very thought out. Takafumi Hori draws super great. Yeah, there's so much more. There's so much more pages. Then I also got his second book, which is with My Little Witch Academia. Like there's like the whole gang is from. There's like the whole gang is from My Little Witch Academia. I'm sorry, it's so bad, dude. I can't show it properly. But the drawings.
Actually, let me put you as the
I think it looks fine.
Let me give you the spotlight, and you're gonna be in.
What?
Like in the big screen, so you can be in the big screen.
Oh, okay, dude.
See.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
Chris,
I got so many. Like, there's so many.
Sorry. Spotlight. Yes, there you go.
Okay, great, cool, perfect.
Wow.
I'm gonna show you the very crazy panels. 1 second, please.
We can all see him in big screen, right?
Yeah. So, for example, he drew a layout right here,
What?
Wow.
Holy.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
there are a few characters over here, man.
Wow.
You also animated all these characters at some point, I think. For example, right here, you can see like there's a whole. The characters are like moving from one side to the other, so that's super crazy.
Wow. That would have taken ages.
He's a monster, dude. He's literally a monster. Like, he's
How
so
much
good.
do you think they take to draw one panel of those?
Long.
Might be very fast, no? They might be very fast.
They might be very fast, yeah. But they also work the whole day, and they also do night shifts. Okay, over here I got Yutaka Nakamura Incomplete List number 9. So if you guys want to take a look. Okay, here's some drawings from the Cowboy Bebop movies, some layouts.
Wow.
Oh.
I want that.
Yeah. Yeah, here's some illustration, Cowboy Bebop illustration from Mr. Nakamura. Okay, here's the layout for My Hero Academia, the new season from the giant fight. I don't know, can you see that?
No way.
Yeah.
It's still super new, like it's super fresh, and you probably won't find it online.
Oh.
And over here's another drawing, and on the other side you can see basically the other pages. Whoops.
Wow.
And do you read it like mangas? Like you start from the
Yeah, you started from right to left, and then you also like go all the way down here. Yeah, okay, my screen is like
flip.
flipped.
No,
So that's
on our side it looks correctly. On your
okay,
side,
okay, perfect. Some of my screens flipped. I don't know. Happened. Yeah, and then there's like just more illustrations, stuff like that. He's very cool.
Whoa.
His line art is amazing. He's a genius. Yeah, very cool, Cowboy Bebop.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spike Spiegel, right? And let's pick up the next one, right? I got more. I got so many actually.
Selling this so well.
So this is next book.
Quick comment from Aditya. You say, "Oh, I feel like in the market, in the black market."
Yeah. This is Todoroki's fight scene against the giant robot in My Hero Academia season 2, episode 3. You can see the hands like slowly moving to the ground, and then you can see how the ice is basically coming up. And then in the next shot, you see him how the effect here over here is like.
Whoa!
Oh, it's
frame by
like
frame.
Yeah, goes.
How do you
frame by
find
frame.
these books?
Mandarake, I already sent the link earlier, and it shows you the website.
Yes.
And
Yes,
I
yes.
also went to Japan in August 2018. I also got some book there.
Yeah, I also got it from my visit. So
yeah.
Let's go Japan.
If you ever go to Japan, try to go around the time when Comic-Con market is going on, because then you can get like the newest books and stuff like that. And it's fucking huge. It's in Tokyo, on Tokyo Big Side. Super great. And otherwise, if you kind of make connections to Japanese people, they are super friendly. For example, some of my production managers, they were just so kind and send it to me overseas. They would just buy the book for me and just send it to me.
Oh.
And they didn't even ask for
very
money.
nice people.
They didn't even ask for money.
Wow.
They were just kind.
yeah. I also got some present from my friends there.
You know,
So
everybody's
everyone-
searching for a Japanese friend right now.
So if you need Japanese books, you'll probably have to talk to Zin, man. He got the connections.
Yes.
Okay.
Zin will be your black market.
Yeah, see, now you have a lot of friends here. Yeah. Many friends.
Yeah. I look forward to it.
So I'm going back to speaker view. No, to gallery view.
Okay, good.
All right.
I could show more, but it would take way too long. It's always taking too long.
Yeah.
So anyway, Chris, thanks so much. We're wrapping this up. Thanks so much. You answered all our questions. We even went really deep. Amazing. You even did some
Sorry for that.
demonstrations. No, we love it. We love it. Zazil, thank you very much, because a lot of people are going through that. So this is going to help a lot of people. So
I hope so. I hope so. We all hope so.
I love it. And yes, Aditya, you say thanks. I'm very happy. Yeah, we're all
Hey,
very
everyone.
happy. So thanks so much. This was very extended, very generous from you. So guys, remember we're still in the contest. So take everything you're learning and push it. Maybe you're not gonna get something right now, but over the years it's gonna come. The main thing is focus on the process. So thank you very much.
And take your time.
Thank you,
All
guys.
right, then.
Thank you.
I'm out.
Thank you
See
very much.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you, people.
Take
Thank you for your time.